Welcome back to Switzer. In our continual journey to not only keep you wealthy, but also healthy, cardiologist of the people, Dr. Ross Walker, is here to explain why our arteries harden and give us heart attacks. And more importantly, what can we do to prevent it? Ross, thanks for joining us.
Pleasure.
Cardiologist of the people. That's...
I love it.
Yes. Very Ross Walker. All right, simple questions.
Yep.
Simple man's questions. Is hardening of the arteries simply a coagulation of fat?
No, not at all.
Okay, so what is it?
Okay. The problem is we were designed to wander around a jungle for 30, 40 years looking for food and having our head ripped off by a saber-toothed tiger.
God had such limited views, didn't he?
Well, that's right. But in our modern world, we don't do that.
Right.
And so as soon as your mother gives you baby food, which is full of synthetic muck, the extra little bits of fat, sugar, protein spill into the walls of the artery. And with that, there's an inflammatory response. The immune system says that shouldn't be there, so it goes into the plaque or into the fatty area and tries to chew on it, and it says, hey, I like this, and it becomes part of the problem. So really, the fat build-up, the progressive fat build-up in the wall of your arteries from really the day you're born, is also an inflammatory response by the body as well.
If we didn't have fat, would the arteries not harden?
Oh, no, it's the excessive calories and the food we don't need. You see, we're only designed to be malnourished wandering around that jungle. We don't do that anymore.
Okay, so it's the excess food that eventually can contribute to the hardening of our arteries.
Absolutely, but also there are 5 key risk factors for heart disease. Number 1 is abnormalities in the whole cholesterol profile. This nonsense about high cholesterol, therefore heart disease, therefore a pill, it should never have happened.
And people believe that, don't they?
Absolutely, and it's wrong. Number 2 is high blood pressure, and especially over the age of 50, high blood pressure is much more important than is cholesterol, and it's the top reading, not the bottom reading when you hit 50.
Okay.
Number 3, cigarette smoking. Come the revolution, I'm running the show, it'll be banned, but that aside. Number 4, diabetes or tendency to diabetes, a thing we call metabolic syndrome. And number 5, picking the wrong relatives. So family history of heart disease. So they're the 5 causes of the progressive build-up of fat in the wall.
And if you look bad on all 5, you should go to a cardiologist.
Look, I think everyone should have a checkup at certain times.
What, men and women? What age?
Okay. Men at age 50 should have a thing called a coronary calcium score, which is a CT scan, no dye, no injections, just takes a snapshot of your arteries. Women at 60.
Why the difference in age?
The difference is that men and women get the same amount of heart disease, but women get it 10 years later because they're typically protected by their hormones until menopause.
It's not because men think a salad is chips, like salad
some
chips.
men do that, but no, that's the reason.
So you've explained how it happens. So is our diet, the nature of our diet, rather than the quantity of our diet, a part cause? Like if I've been a vegetarian most of my life and just have a little bit of meat maybe, if I'm really responsible, am I less likely to have hardening of the arteries?
Potentially, but if you pick the wrong relatives, you can still have a heart attack in your 30s regardless of what you eat. So diet's not the central focus here, but it is part of it. Interestingly, the BMJ have just come out and said...
BMJ?
Yeah, the British Medical Journal.
Sorry, it's inside.
Have come out and just said it's not that dietary advice needs to be revised, it should never have happened in the first place. And it's all this nonsense about low-fat foods. If it's in a box or a container, and I don't care what graffiti is written on the box, like low-fat or no cholesterol, it's no good for you. Diet's really easy. It's called eat less and eat more naturally.
So you're saying it's the processed food is probably your biggest threat than a big T-bone steak with a lump of fat in it?
Of course, as far as diets go. Because in processed food there's a thing called trans fatty acids or synthetic fats that really thicken and harden the walls of your arteries. That's the big issue.
So you're suggesting that maybe an apple would be better than an apple muffin?
No doubt about that whatsoever. But also, can I say that Cambridge University last year came out with a 600,000 person, 72 meta-analysis trial showing clearly there is no link between the intake of meat, eggs, dairy and heart disease. Never has been, never will be.
But the whole world thinks there is.
I know, but they're wrong.
Okay, but you're not representing the Livestock Association.
I have no financial association with any.
Okay, animal fat versus vegetable fat.
Yeah, look. Animal fat is in low doses, no problems at all. And vegetable fat, the best sort of is of course olive oil. The trouble is when you use the omega-6, things like sunflower, safflower oils, When they get cooked, they turn into these trans fats, which thicken and harden the foods, and they're the problem. And in fact, also they're pro-inflammatory, which I said is also...
So frying food...
olive oil is good for you.
When they get high temperature, it doesn't create...
No,
okay.
that's all nonsense.
Okay, so olive oil is good. Drugs, are they a solution or a threat to someone with hardening of the arteries?
Oh, no, they may be part of the problem, but here's the issue. Last week, a study came out of Finland showing that people who take Lipitor and Zocor for 6 years, this was middle-aged men over 45, 6 years, 46% increased risk for diabetes, type 2 diabetes.
So in maybe solving, what, Lipitor, is it for
Lipitor
cholesterol
and
reason?
Yeah, there are 4 statins to lower cholesterol. The 2 water-soluble statins, Crestor and Pravachol, which are the only ones I use. Lipitor and Zocor are fat-soluble, and they're the ones that have been shown to increase risk for diabetes and also what I call neurocognitive problems, so problems with memory, concentration, depression, fatigue, anxiety, irritability, and you don't sleep well. So look, I'm not against statin therapy. What I'm against is the inappropriate use to think that my cholesterol's high, I'll go onto a pill and I can eat what I like. That is complete nonsense. It's assuming that lowering a pill, lowering your cholesterol with a pill is the key.
So a pill potentially could be a threat if you don't change your lifestyle.
Oh, there's no doubt. Look, lifestyle, the 5 keys of being healthy is twice as powerful as taking a pill to lower your cholesterol. And again, some people need to be on that pill if they have a high coronary calcium score, if they've had a stent, a bypass or a heart attack. But if you just have a high cholesterol and no other risk factors for heart disease, in my mind there is no justification to be on a pill to lower your cholesterol.
So therefore, if you've got, say, a high score on your CCS, if you change your lifestyle and you really cut processed food out and you ate, more natural type foods and you use olive oil, can you reduce the hardening of the artery?
Oh, absolutely.
So lifestyle can change it, yeah?
There's no doubt about that. That's been proven time and time again. And we haven't mentioned the second best drug on the planet, 3 to 5 hours every week of some form of exercise. The best drug, of course, being happiness.
People who watch this show are always happy, mate. So okay. So when should you start monitoring yourself?
Yeah. Age 50 for a male, age 60 for a female, that's when you should have the coronary calcium score, but you should start monitoring yourself as soon as you become aware that you're getting a bit older. And so most people up to the age of 30 think they're immortal. Right. But when you hit 30, you start to look at your mortality a bit. And I think that's when you really have to start saying, OK, I've got to look at my diet, look at my exercise, get rid of the bad habits, etc.
All right, Ross, now, people watch this show and I've got part information. So if they go to your website, will a lot of this stuff get answered for them?
Oh, absolutely. OK. drrosswalker.com.
OK, and you write stuff for us on switzer.com.au as well? OK.
Absolutely.
Fantastic, mate. Keeping people alive. OK, that's the show. If you want to read my thoughts each morning at the close of Wall Street, check out our website, switzer.com.au. Thanks for joining me this week. And next week, we've got a fantastic show. Make sure you join us.